enjoying this more than it sounds like at first. But the person who requested it, okay. Whoa. Oh my, I'm getting real lightning in the room.
I'll be living without you. And no, I won't drown. I'll have my own bad self to shout to when I feel like I'm going down. Yes, living without you. Got your cruel words haunt my head. And every sunset won't be about you. And every sunrise won't feel dead. Been living without you. No, you'll never make me drown.
Living Without You. So that was the piano. Somebody requested to be on the show. just now, but I couldn't I couldn't really read while I was playing, so you guys can tell me who that was. Can you see who it was? Who wanted to be? Oh, maybe I can see. I don't know. Anyway, well, so that's called Living Without You. So we're doing a deep dive on that song. So I'm going to tell you guys some funny stories about that. And ye who requested that I do a deep dive, feel free to give me questions, whatever comes to mind. But the song, it was actually the first song I wrote after my head injury, and I wasn't really able to talk much when during that time, and so I started writing this song on this 3 thing, just super simple, just that. But I also have this kind of idea of like, maybe since I can't really speak, I should start writing songs for people. So I had a thought of somehow getting a song to Adele, and so this was the song that kind of came out with in my mind that this would be a song for Adele to sing. I never got it to Adele. I don't know how to get it to Adele. I don't have her on speed dial. But it sounds like, so I wrote it for a woman to sing to a man, and then I kind of changed the gender when I recorded it. But actually, the truth is, I'll tell you guys something that I may have alluded to, but the song was really written for my brain. In a way, I'm singing about living without the brain, the ego, well, really more the brain, the cognitive ability, losing my ability to speak, losing my ability to kind of be in public and be with people. The idea of it's not that bad to live without your brain. I mean, it's tough, but it was also, in a way, a kind of a breakthrough for me, and sometimes I feel like I need to re-access that experience. Are you guys still able to see me? Did I disappear? Anyway, so I'm getting some texts of confusion, but living without the brain, living without you, won't be that bad. Sweet melodies won't be about you, or sweet memories won't be about you, sweet melodies won't seem sad. That's one of the lines. I mean, it's kind of a funny, bitter song, but lines like right, you can tell I'd be bell and whistle dumb. If you called me like a dog, I would still come. So it's a little cheeky. It's about moving forward without the people you care about, making it on your own. Well, yeah, it's about that too, and about things you care about people you care about ideas of yourself that you care about, or that you cared about, ideas of what makes you. I think Dee Dee says it's about moving forward without the people you care about, making it on your own. Yeah, it is. It is about that, and about leaving parts of ourselves behind, which we leave behind with people when relationships don't work out, or we don't really leave parts of ourselves, but I think we leave ideas of ourselves, ideas of that. Those are parts of ourselves. They're not really, actually. I think they're ideas, which is not the same thing as the real self. So in a way, my head injury was a total disconnection from my wit and from all those things, but it was a reconnection to the bigger, the other level of the self. Self came through more because of that. So anyway, so that's how the song came out, and I wrote it on piano. And because I've been doing these live streams, and sometimes I'm sitting over on the couch, I decided I better figure out how to play it on guitar. I don't. There's some electric guitar on the recording, but so I figured out how to play it on guitar, so I can do that for you guys as well. The song is, I'm reading now, the song is extremely moving. It helps so much in a lot of ways. You really heal through your music. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm glad to be doing that for you. Because I definitely write music generally I go to music, I dream songs a lot, but when I'm awake, which this song was written when I was awake, generally when I'm awake, the songs have a, I don't know, self-healing quality, a healing quality to them. Interestingly, I'm sort of known to, whatever, I have talked about that I dream a lot of songs, but actually the songs that I dream are not necessarily the sort of dreamier songs. Like actually the ones that are more, maybe more lyrical, often are the ones that I don't write in dreams, because I'm kind of trying to soothe myself by playing music, by creating music. And in my dreams, often the music is much more kind of joyous and extroverted in a way. Music and creativity is a savior. Yeah, it can be, as somebody else replies. I agree with all of that. I'm just going to quickly scroll and see if I missed anything else. So maybe use Hey Boy. Remember, this is sounds more like a love song. Yeah. I mean, of course it does, you know. And it was kind of, you know, it's all these things. I mean, when I write music, it's generally not like, you know, it's not an essay and it's not a poem. It's something else that it is deliberately expressing multiple things in the form of a song. It's not one thing. That's why it's a song, because it's an opportunity to express a bunch of things in a form that's non-verbal partially. And so songs to God often sound like love songs. This is true. There's a whole tradition of that. I mean, famously in like the Qawwali music from, I guess from what's now Pakistan, the Sufi music is, the lyrical poetry is very much, sounds like very almost erotic love poems, but it was also, those are really hymns to the divine. So yeah, it's all of those things. They are often all of those things. So anyway, I'm happy to answer more questions or respond or just hear what you guys think. I'm enjoying that you guys are tapping into what I tap into when I write. I hope you know how much your music inspires. This song in particular really is love. Thank you. I really appreciate that. In a way, you know, it's kind of a self-love. So ultimately, it's a self-love song. Living without you, because you know we all have to go forward without things that we thought we needed. It happens a lot. So yeah. You may think there's an effect on you're loving it, but this is an effect. This is actually just a interpretation of my brain. This is just how I live. This is the world that I live in all the time. So, in fact, somebody was once sleeping next to me and said, I could hear your brain all night long. It was just so, it wasn't an erotic sleeping next to each other, by the way. Not that it matters, but just FYI. But she woke up saying she could like hear the brain going all night long. So maybe this is my new look. It feels like how I live. So anyway, but because of all this live streaming, I did learn to play the song on guitar. So since we're doing a deep dive, I think a good idea, and you guys can think of other questions as you hear, now that I've spoken about it, you can hear the lyrics again. I'll play it on guitar this time, obviously on the recording, which most of you have not heard. There's a whole strings and drums and all kinds of stuff, but we're doing solo in this quarantine world we're in. So I'll do it on guitar now, now that you've heard the piano, and you guys can think about any other questions you might want to ask me. I'm trying to see if we can position so I'm visible. Well, that was kind of cool. All right. Can you see? Can you see kind of?
Every song is about you, singing what I should have said. Living without you feels like I could drown. Oh, I need someone to shout to before I go down. Every song is about you, singing what I should have said. Better living without you. Ooh, feels like I could drown. I need someone to shout to before I go down. But I'll keep pushing on till the shame of your memory's gone. I know I've got to look inside. There's an ocean deep and wide. So living without you won't be that bad. Sweet memories won't be about you. Sweet melodies won't seem sad. I'll be living without you. No, I won't drown. I'll have my own bad self to shout to when I feel like I'm going down. Yes, living without you, without your cruel words haunting my head. Every sunset won't be about you, and every sunrise won't feel dead. Better living without you. No, you never made me drown. I got me to shout to, and he won't ever let me down.
Living Without You on guitar. Multiple ways to skin a song. So, did I miss any choir? Let me see if I missed some. I see some piano. It's coming through. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to catch up. Zap. Yeah. Anyway, so I like it on guitar and piano. You know, they have different flavors. But yeah, so I don't know if hearing, those of you who caught the beginning and caught my talking about it, if the lyrics had a different meaning for you, having heard about some of the backdrop. This song is helping me cope with the death of someone. Is that weird? That is not weird at all, actually. It's not weird at all. I mean, when was the moment that you decided self-love in that injury? Brandon Huffing. Well, I'm going to answer that first thing first. It absolutely is not weird, because having a head injury was a form of death. Losing someone to death is a form of death. Losing a relationship is a form of death. And leaving behind parts of ourselves, memories of times shared with somebody else, or having to, getting to move forward in life while honoring the past, but not carrying it around like a ball and chain. I mean, that's part of what the song is about, and that we can go forward with love while also not carrying that wound forever. So I think that does make sense, that it's about that. And somebody, sorry, moment I decided self-love and the injury. Honestly, for me, the recovery from the head injury was it was multiple years. It wasn't something, as anyone with a head injury knows, if anybody's watching later that has a head injury, it's, I've talked with other people who've had injuries about, it's like, at 3 months you're like, oh, I'm kind of better. Then at 6 months you're like, oh, I was not better at all at 3 months. Now I'm kind of functional. And then at a year you're like, oh, at 6 months I thought I was better, but I really wasn't. And the same at 2 years. And, now, I don't know, I feel it was definitely, it's a very slow recovery. Not like there's a moment where suddenly you feel better. It's not that at all. It's really slow. But for me, it wasn't really self-love. There was still a lot of pain and, I don't know, moments of embarrassment in the head injury, like moments of shame that I couldn't communicate, and I was trying to be out with people. I was living in New York at the time and going out, and I could tell people were sort of reacting to me strange on the street, like almost like a sense of like they could tell there's something wrong with that guy. And I'm trying to negotiate walking across the streets, or as I started talking to people, trying to get through conversations was really difficult. And so it was a long thing. So I wrote this song well before I was really functional, actually. Before I could really talk like with any fluency. Writing Living Without You was actually part of my recovery. It definitely helped me feel like, okay, something's still working. Like I can still write songs, and I can still, I can still connect with something, even if I can't connect with people because they sort of don't know how to speak to somebody who can't speak. So yeah, so it was a lot, long road. So anyway, that's Living Without You. I actually have other songs about the head injury times, and you guys, those of you who've been on here, know that I have a lot of music that hasn't come out. So we'll have a chance. I have a song called The Fog Man, which is really about that shame of being in that sort of unable to speak and function. Anyway, so that's the deep dive on Living Without You. I think that's a pretty deep dive we just did there. I really appreciate your listening all the time. I am going to change the schedule. I am going to be cutting a couple shows out of my weekly schedule. I just feel it would be better for me to not do quite as much. So I'll let you guys know about that, and I'll post the changes. Even through this quarantine, I want to be playing a lot, but I also, anyway, trying to pace myself. So thank you for being here. I will post it. I think it's going to be just Saturday, 2 shows on Saturday, noon and early evening. That way I can kind of get in the zone for playing and then be doing other stuff during the week and not kind of going back and forth between different activities like making videos and live streaming. It's just, I think that will be better, and that way it can give you guys something to look forward to if you're so inclined on the weekends, you know. So anyway, I'll post about that. Oh, am I going to post this deep dive? I would like to. The last couple things that have failed to post, I don't know what's going on with Instagram, and I even tried to upload one after, and it kept just saying failed, and so I will try to post this. I will see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work. The last 3 have not worked, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I'll save it, hopefully, and so if I can't post it, I may post these things to YouTube or something, and Facebook, so you guys can follow me there or whatever. As they say in the business. So I hope to get it onto Instagram, but I don't know what's going on with my uploads. They're just not working right now. So have a good Saturday night, and I'm going to be doing some recording, something else. So for a TV thing, actually. So I got set up for video. I'm learning some new things. Anyway, take care, and nice to see you guys, and I'll see you on Saturday. I will be back. Okay. Bye-bye.